Bronny James, um, most people know this. Most people, some people don't know. Most people do know this. Bronny James is not a 2025 ready NBA talent. Can we acknowledge that? Can we all agree that Bronny James is not a 2025 NBA ready talent right now? We're not saying he's not a good player. We're not saying that he's not going to be a good player. He may be a great player. Who knows? But can we all agree that Bronny James is not a 2025 ready NBA player? All right. So let's start there. The whole thing went down with he had a heart condition. Then he had heart surgery. He went to USC. He played for a season. Not even sure if he played all the games. Played for a season, and he was not even one of the best players on the USC Trojans roster. Right? He wasn't. He wasn't even a starter. He wasn't a. Um, it wasn't like they had highlights of him on SportsCenter, right? Every other night. It wasn't like that. He's a kid with a good talent and a good work ethic for basketball, but he's not a star. Let's start there. The kid had the heart surgery. Um, in my opinion, and I'm just going to jump right in because there's no need of beating around the bush. In my opinion, everybody knew and had been talking for years. LeBron James, his son, is going to be in the NBA. They're going to play together. All the Disney stuff, right? All the stuff that great stories are made of. And fast forward a couple years later, um, Bronny James gets an agent. It's Rich Paul, who's also Bron's agent, who's also AD's agent. I believe Draymond Green is also on his roster. So Rich Paul is an amazing agent, right? He gets it done for his guys. He gets it done for his guys. Fast forward, Rich Paul is now representing Bronny James. Rich Paul is saying Bronny James is not taking calls unless it's for LA or Phoenix. Bronny James is not. Now, mind you, this kid has already, I believe he had a Gatorade deal in college. And if I'm not mistaken, he had a Beats by Dre deal. Either that or Nike or something. It was something. I want to say it was Beats by Dre and Gatorade. Wasn't earned. Even going back to the high school all-star game, wasn't earned. You skip guys who are who have far superior talent than a Bronny James. That's neither here nor there. We get to the draft stuff. Rich Paul's like, hey, he's not taking calls except LA and Phoenix. First of all, that's audacity right there, right? What does he even earn to be saying, okay, we're not taking your call, we'll call you. Okay, all right. Then the Lakers draft him. The Lakers draft him. I believe he was the 55th pick overall. 55th pick, which is it's only 60 picks in the draft. He was 5 picks from being last, 6 picks from being undrafted. Right? Okay, he's drafted. Then all the stuff starts coming out about he's getting a guaranteed contract. He's going to make the roster. Now, if anybody that watches basketball, NBA particularly, anybody knows when you are the 55th pick, you don't make the team. You don't make the team. A 55th pick is a G League player, possibly two-way contract, possibly cut. It could go 33% either way. You might be the 15th man who don't dress. You might be a G League player full time, or you might be a two-way contract player, which means you can go up between the NBA and the G League back and forth as needed. Now, if we rewind a little bit, LeBron James makes a tweet in 2023 that reads, Bronny is better than half these cats I'm out here watching. Bronny is better than something to that effect. More than he might have said more than half of these guys. Now, this is my first of all, before we even get to my issue with the Stephen A. Smith, half court or courtside situation. LeBron James, for all intents and purposes, is clearly one of the greatest players of all time. Now, I am not a LeBron James fan. I am also not a LeBron James hater. Now, you can take that how you want to take it. I consider myself to be a truth teller. I give you my honest assessment, my honest opinion, and I live with it. If I say something, I'm going to stand 10 toes down on it. People, you don't have to agree with it. You don't have to agree with Stephen A. Smith, and I'm going to get to that as well. I'm waiting on Rufus. I see you. I see Capri. You had jumped on for a second. I'm not sure if you're still there, but feel free to reach out, and I'll add you as well if you want. But LeBron James is one of the greatest players of all time. I don't think that is even arguable, right? From a standpoint, he's definitely, in my opinion, one of the greatest athletes ever. Like, he's a complete and total machine. His body hasn't broken down. He's 40 years old. And absolutely, GY, it's all politically influenced. I agree with that 100%. But before I get to the LeBron James issue, I agree that he's an amazing player. A lot of times when it comes to black athletes or just athletes in general, they are the subject of ridicule, hate. There's always there people are always looking for something to say about a LeBron James, and I'm not here for that. Right? At one point in my life, now mind you, LeBron James came to the NBA in 2003. Right? 22 years ago. Um, he has lived up to every expectation imaginable. LeBron James has lived up to every expectation imaginable from the standpoint of he's a great athlete. He's a great face of the league, if you will. He is a good influence for children, if you believe in that kind of thing. Um, he has the school. He's a model citizen. He's a husband. He's a father of three. No scandals have come out. So from that standpoint, hats off. Dude is that guy. Dude is that guy. How you feel about him as a player, that's subject to opinion. Everybody has their opinion. But LeBron James is definitely one of the greatest, if not the greatest athlete. We're not talking about basketball player or the GOAT and all that stuff. As far as an athlete, he is, if not the greatest, one of the greatest that have ever laced them up in any sport, period. Right? All right, so let me get to the issue now. Now that I got all the pleasantries out the way, now that I've given him his credit, let me give you my issue. My issue is now who are we as men or as people to tell somebody how to raise their child? Everybody that is a father wants the best for their child. Everybody that's an uncle, they want the best for their nephew or niece. Everybody that's a grandparent, they want the best for their grandson or granddaughter, right? We want the best for our people. LeBron James has built an amazing community for his friends, for his family, for his homies. He has a network that is just amazing. We've never seen anything like it. There's a lot of things about LeBron James that he is a one of a kind talent, and not just as a player, but as a person, right? From what I understand, I've been watching him for all 22 years. I am a year and a half older than LeBron, and I've been watching him since the high school stuff, since the Jersey stuff, when he had got suspended from St. Vincent St. Mary's for wearing some expensive jerseys that either he hadn't purchased or that something happened with some boosters or something. So I remember all of that. I remember the games on ESPN. I remember the Bron Mello stuff. I can go all the way back to that. This is not somebody that's just talking about, just off the top of my head or just off the side of my head, I should say. This is somebody that's been in it. I am a ESPN junkie. I am a Sports Center junkie. I am an NBA TV junkie. I am an ESPN app junkie. I've been looking at stats since they were in the newspaper. Anybody that went to Pontiac Northern with me, they could tell you when I went upstairs to the D section, Miss Hill, the hall monitor, she had that sports section waiting for me. Kids used to ask for the sports section, but she was like, "Nope, I'm holding this for Mr. Rutley." So shout out to Miss Hill. Everybody from Pontiac Northern that remember Miss Hill. I was looking at the stats since I was sitting in class looking at stats in the sports section of the Oakland Press from Pontiac, Michigan. Anyway, I said all that to say this. I'm not just talking off the side of my head. I'm talking about something I've been watching the LeBron James brand and product for 22 years strong. Now, like I was saying, anybody that is a father, they want the best for their child, right? My issue with, first of all, LeBron James is, okay, fine, you made a tweet that said, in 2023, okay, you made a tweet that said, my son is better than half these guys in the NBA. And I'm gonna read your comment in a second. Darnell Jefferson says that wasn't the best player in the world or a role model businessman talking to Stephen A. Smith. That was a father who didn't tweet. Let me see. Who didn't tweet the weak social media thing? He went to the man. He went to him like a man. Okay, so let me address that. I'm glad you said that. Thank you for that. I'm glad you said that. First of all, can we admit this? That was the wrong place for it. Like Stephen A. Smith said in his 10-minute dissertation, if you will, on First Take the following day. He said he wasn't even going to address the situation, but it had went viral. People was blowing him up, so he addressed it. In his 10 minutes, Stephen A. said, Maverick Carter, LeBron's right-hand man, has my number. Rich Paul, his agent, has my number. LeBron James should have my number. Now, me and Rufus had a conversation last night, and I'm still waiting on him to jump on or request to get on this call. LeBron James decided to confront Stephen A. Smith courtside of a game that he was actually playing that night, right? And what has been said, correct me if I'm wrong, I don't mind being wrong. Y'all help me out. LeBron was basically saying, this is between you and me. Keep my son out of it. Was there something to that effect? This was something that was heard by people that were sitting courtside. Keep my son out of this. And he didn't look malicious. He didn't look like he was about to punch him in the face. But LeBron James is 6'8", 6'9". Stephen A. Smith is probably like all of 6'1", 6'2". You standing at him and you kind of, looking aggressive a little bit, But this is my issue. My issue is this. If you want to say it's between me and you, let's keep my son out of this. Fine, let's address you, LeBron. Your son has never even been one of the best players on any team he's ever been on, right? You allowed him as a high school kid to reclassify, and I don't know if that was to move, reclassification just means you either are keeping the kid in the grade level that he's at, or you're allowing him to go to the next level so he can kind of speed up the process of college recruits, getting recruited to college and all of those things. You went to USC. You averaged 4.6 points a game. I don't know about the rebounds and assists. I don't really care. But it's a score. It's a scorer's game. Basketball is a scorer's game. I'm not saying that there aren't guys who play defense like a Tony Allen or a Dennis Rodman or some of the defensive guys, a Ben Wallace, if you will. Nothing wrong with that. If you're a defensive specialist, if you're a defensive stopper. Dude, you're 6'2", bro. Can't shoot. Yeah, he gets in the G League and he's doing all these things. He's kind of a mini LeBron in the making because he can pass, he can rebound, he can do a lot of things that don't require him having the ball all the time. But this is my problem. Back to the problem. LeBron James, you want the best for your son. Why not let him stay in college? What's wrong with staying in college? What's wrong with it? Somebody comment to me and tell me what is wrong if you want the best for your son. The dude already got money because he's coming from the only billionaire to ever be an active player. Okay, Rufus, I'm about to get you on there. Let me see. How do we do this? It says Rufus. Okay, there we go. I think it's right there. Accept. Hopefully you'll be added now. This person is unable to join because of technical issues. I don't know what that is. Hold on one second. Let me try to add you. All right. So what I was trying to say is while I'm trying to add you is what is wrong with staying in college? What's wrong with not, I'm not talking about the education part, right? Because if you plan on being a NBA player for years to come, you can always go back to college in the off season. You can always do your degree at another time. Okay, Patrick Cunningham, what up, Pat? He said he never wanted what was best for his son. He wanted what was best for him and his legacy. He put his in capital letters. You are exactly 100% right. Um, Denzel Wright says Brian weak for that, in my unsolicited opinion. And if you ever wanted him to make it and have a chance, should have left him at USC to get right and ready for the league. 100%. That is the point that I'm trying to get to. Now, some of you are going to say, oh, you a hater. And the other half is going to say, yeah, that's true. And the other half is going to say, dude, we already know this. But my problem is LeBron James stepping to Stephen A. Smith like I'm a father. Bro, you're a father that made the one of the most, if you made that decision, because let's not act like Bronny don't have, well, maybe he don't have a say, I don't know. But between Rich Paul, his agent, between Bron and Bronny, I'm sure there had to been a conversation. Do you feel like you're ready? How is your heart feeling? How is your conditioning? I'm just gonna assume the best, that these guys were having grown man conversations and that they were saying, what do you think you should do? Maybe they were, maybe they weren't. Maybe Brian was just like, all right, son, you ready? I don't care what they say. I'm gonna work you out in the gym. We gonna let Rich handle the business, and we gonna get this money, right? LeBron James, his son don't need no money, right? Especially right now. And I'm not trying to count the pockets and say I'm not doing that. I'm just simply saying that Bronny already had a Gatorade deal and a Beats by Dre deal in college, so he had two NIL deals, and that's just the ones that I know about. He may have had more. Trying to join the convo, I'm happy to be Shannon to your Skip Bayless energy. That's hilarious. Yeah, Rue. I don't know why. I don't know why I can't add you, man. Let me try it again. Let me try it again. Uh, Let me try it again. Request. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. Why I can't? Why they won't even, like when I type your name in, it's not even coming up at all. It say no results found. So I don't know what's going on. Why it's not allowing me. Try to send me a request again. Okay, Ray Mosley said, I don't understand. If Bronny is a professional basketball player, what makes exempt from everybody else? 100%. And I don't understand why people act like Stephen A. Smith don't got a job to do. This man just got an extension with He's the face of ESPN, by the way. And I don't understand what the hate is with Stephen A. Smith. Why is everybody acting like he ain't that guy? Like Stephen A. Smith is the face of ESPN. And some will say, well, they made him the face of ESPN. Well, they made LeBron James the face of the NBA. Well, they made Patrick Mahomes the face of the NFL, which is why they throw every flag against the other team, because they want to see Patrick Mahomes in the Super Bowl every year. They want to see him challenge Tom Brady for the most Super Bowl wins. Sometimes you get made the face of something. You know, Stephen A. Smith had the biggest popularity. He's been had the biggest popularity on ESPN for a long time. So I don't see what the hate is with him. You can't say he a bad father because of his decision he made for him and his son. I'm not saying he's a bad father, Dave. By the way, what's up, big bro? I'm not saying he's a bad father. I'm saying that the decision was a bad one. The decision was a bad one. Now, this is the thing. Let's fast forward. Let's just say we're in the year 2035. Right now, we're in the year 2025. What's up, James? Michael James Turner. Let's say we fast forward 10 years, right? What is that? What is that going to look like? LeBron James will probably be retired. He'll probably retire in 2 or 3 years, right? Let's just say LeBron played till 2028. 2028 was the last hurrah. LeBron James hangs up his basketball shoes for the last time. Where's Bronny going to be? Now, first of all, before you answer that question, I believe Bronny will get better over time. I absolutely do. I don't think he's a bad basketball player, but I don't think he's an NBA ready player now. That's what I believe, and I'm standing on that. You average 1.4 points a game. I'm not sure how many games he played in the NBA. I know he's played about 7 in the G League, and he don't even play all the G League games. If I'm not mistaken, the report came out he's only going to be playing the home games in LA. He's not going on the road. He's only playing the home games. So what it sounds like to me is there's a lot of manipulation. There's a lot of audacity. There's a lot of what is the word? Nepotism. There's a lot of that going on. Now, I've made posts on Facebook, but I've never gone live about this situation. LeBron James, like my boy Pat said, does not want the best for his son. He wants the best for his own legacy. Now, shout out to Bron. He's 40 years old. He just reached 50,000 career points. He's probably going to be in the top 5 of every statistical category, from points to rebounds to assists to blocks to steals to farting. I mean, every time you look up, LeBron James is the first person to do this. LeBron James is the youngest player to do this. Now he's 40. He's going to be the oldest player to do this. Oldest player to do that. I don't got no problem with it. LeBron James. And now I am a Michael Jordan guy. Okay. When Jordan played, I've always been a Pistons fan. Let's get that straight. So being a Pistons fan, what up, Grant Long? Good to see you on here, bro. What up, Eddie D. Walt, Tim Easley? Being a Pistons fan, being a true Pistons fan, I hated Jordan, right? I never forget the 1996 season, 95-96 season. It was the Toronto Raptors inaugural season, also the Vancouver Grizzlies at the time. 95-96 inaugural season, which, by the way, Grant Long, my guy that's on here, he played for the Grizzlies after he left the Pistons at some point. But I remember I was watching CTV, which was a Canadian channel. The Raptors played the Bulls, and the Bulls went 72-10 that season. Out of the 10 losses, Toronto was one of the teams that beat them. I never forget it. It was in Toronto. I'm about to say Damari Stoudemire, but Damon Stoudemire was on that team. I want to say possibly Marcus Camby. I'm not sure. I can't go back that far. But anyway, so that just goes to show you that's just I was one of the guys that rooted against Jordan. I wanted Jordan to lose as a true diehard Pistons fan, right? So, but I realized that Jordan is the GOAT, right? But a lot of people don't agree that Jordan is the GOAT. A lot of people feel like, well, Jordan played 14 years. He only won 6 championships, not only, but he won 6 championships in those 14 years. What happened the other 8 years? He got popped. Pistons beat him. Celtics beat him. Other teams beat up on him. And so a lot of people don't feel like Michael Jordan is the GOAT. They don't even equate those championships with the GOAT conversation. They equate more of the LeBron James, has longevity. He's been playing 22 years, no scandals, all those wonderful off-court things, right? They say Jordan was a prick, he was a jerk. You watch the Last Dance and you see all these things, and it actually turned people's heart against Jordan. Like, oh, this guy wasn't. And then a lot of people want to say, oh, back in the Jordan days, they played against plumbers, they played against restaurant guys and garbage men. It's like, bro, stop the cap. Stop the cap. Do not do that to yourself. Michael Jordan is the greatest player in NBA history. His will. I'm not even finna go there. I'm not even finna go there. Well, that'll be another day, another time. My problem is, let me see what David Washington says. Bron came from nothing. Bronny came from everything. Big difference. That's completely and 100% utter facts. Bronny did not need to. That's my biggest thing. This is why I don't understand why Bron pushed Bronny to the NBA like that. He was assisted. He was given. It's only 450 roster spots in the NBA on any given season. 15 players, 30 teams. Do the math. 450. I personally would like to see the best players in the world be on the NBA roster. There are guys right now who are signing 10-day contracts, who are being traded, who are being released, who are being waived, and having to go over to China and Israel and all these different places. Dwight Howard at 39 years old would still be considered one of the top 450 players in the world. I don't understand why Dwight Howard, JaVale McGee, who are, by the way, champions, why are these guys playing in Israel and you got a Bronny James who's sitting on a bench for a team that has no need for his services? He knew he was going to get in this draft. He knew the draft was trash. Darnell Jefferson, you are 100% correct. In fact, Zachary Ricochet, the first pick in the draft, cheeks. This season is completely terrible. The second pick is Alex. Is it Alex Sarr? Is that his name? Alexander Sarr, the guy for Washington. I don't understand. Rufus, I'm gonna try to get you on again. Let me see. Add. Oh, we're adding. There we go. Now it's getting real. Business move. Absolutely, Darnell. Absolutely a business move. But let's not act like Stephen A didn't have the right to say the things that he said. People are saying that Bronny was getting. You said Sarr is all right. Okay, Eddie. I haven't seen his stats. Rufus, what's up, man? What's going on, man? Are you driving or something? You are driving in the dark? We need to see your face, man. What's up? Don't be hiding, bro. No, I'm just playing. It's not showing my face? No, it's dark. Charleston Day say, bro, you just don't like LBJ. No, that's not true, bro. LeBron James has done a. Request me again. Okay. LeBron James has done some great things for this league. I want y'all to hear me say that. LeBron James has done some great things for the NBA. What up, EJ? When I said I was going live to talk about LeBron, EJ hit me with the roller. He rolling his eyes. But listen, man, let's not act like Stephen A didn't have the right to say the things that he said. He calls it as he sees it. This dude is a reporter. He's in locker rooms. He's on the sidelines. He knows the business. He has relationships. This is not something that he's new to. It's something that he's true to. Let me see what David Washington said. I love to see father and son. He's his father. Are you saying his father is babying him? He's a father first, Charleston Day said. Okay. Yeah, Rufus. The last time you came in, it gave me an option next to your name because you just joined the video to add you. It's not giving me that option again. Um, but there's no reason to talk about Bronny. He ain't talking about Cam Reddish. Cam Reddish he got traded, but I guess, yeah, Cam Reddish got traded, didn't he? Anyway, I think it's bigger than what we heard, to be honest. Think about there's no real reason to mention Bronny on Sports Center. Think about it. He don't play. So why are we talking about him? And then it says